just gotten so jacked up of how the catch rule is.
Hello, I'm Nicole Briscoe. Look, we've got one of the greatest ever to do it, hanging it up in NASCAR and in the NFL. A surprise courtesy of the Bills. And no, I'm not just talking about the weather in Orchard Park. It was unseasonably warm for the Bills and the Seahawks. In fact, so warm that during warm-ups, Josh Allen, like, man, it's hot. I mean, it wasn't the 70s. I don't think it's supposed to be the 70s in the fall out here. Early in the first, no score, and then this happened. Allen to Isaiah McKenzie. Touchdown. Bills strike first. They were up 7-0, and then they hit again, and then they hit again. It was 17-0, now 17-7. Allen, this time play action to Stephon Diggs. It's a 19-yard gain. Diggs, 9 receptions, 118 yards. Not a touchdown because on this drive, the TD went to Gabriel Davis. Touchdown. Bills extend their lead 24-7. They drop back to pass 75% of the plays in this game. In the third we go. Bills up 24-10. Seahawks ball. 3rd and 10, and things got a little ugly for Russell Wilson. Tackled, stripped from behind by Jerry Hughes, recovered by Tre'Davious White. Bills ended up kicking a field goal. Didn't really pull away, though. Taking a chance. John Brown upfield, tackled at the 2. Bills, first down of a gain of 33. Next play, handing it off now to Zach Moss. Touchdown. It's now a 14-point lead. Now they're starting to pull away, and then more mistakes from Russell Wilson. Turned it over 4 times in this one. 2 interceptions, that's one of them. 2 fumbles. White, again, returned it 28 yards to the Seahawks 3. Bills win it. They're now 7-2. Here's Dan Graziano.
Nicole, when I talked to Bills safety Micah Hyde before Sunday's game, he told me our offense has to do a good job of putting up points and avoiding turnovers. Well, the Bills scored 44 points, the most anyone has scored against the Seahawks since 2009, and they didn't turn the ball over even once. The result was a 3rd consecutive win that improved their record to 7-2 and kept them in control of things in the AFC East. The best part about the Bills' current run may be that they're showing they can win in different ways. Last week, they ran the ball 38 times and threw it only 18 times to beat the Patriots. This week, they threw the ball 38 times and ran it only 19 times to beat the Seahawks. As you might imagine, the Bills are feeling pretty good about themselves, but they also have bigger goals.
Sitting here, 7-2, we're excited what we can do and how we can play, but we understand that not only 7 wins doesn't get you into the playoffs. So
any win's a great win in the National Football League, but let's be honest, that's a really good football team that we played today.
Wins like this against the best teams in the league are good measuring sticks, but at this point, we have to consider the Bills one of the best teams in the league themselves. Their next 4 games are against the Cardinals, Chargers, 49ers, and Steelers, a tough stretch no matter how you slice it. And Sunday's injuries to top cornerback Tre'Davious White and a couple of starting offensive linemen are certainly concerns to monitor. But Sunday's game was what we call a statement win by the Bills, and the statement was, we can beat anybody. In Orchard Park, New York, Dan Graziano, ESPN.
It's also the most points allowed by the Seahawks since 2009. So this was the 3rd game this season with 300 passing yards or 3 or more touchdowns for Bills quarterback Josh Allen. That ties Drew Bledsoe and the Hall of Famer Jim Kelly for the most of those games in a season in Bills history. We have a big game tonight. The 2 quarterbacks who rank number 1 and number 2 on the list of most touchdowns ever thrown. It's Tom Brady and Drew Brees, Bucs and Saints. The obvious headline here is those 2 quarterbacks. Then you got number 2 on the list, and it's the addition of Antonio Brown to that Bucs lineup. It's also the return of Michael Thomas. Obviously, these 2 teams played each other week 1 of the season. The current versions, though, fielded by both, nothing like we saw in September. Let's now go to Tampa. That is where we find our Jenna Lane. How will the Bucs offense, besides the addition of Antonio Brown, be different from what we saw week 1 when these 2 teams met?
Bruce Arians said this Bucs offense is light years from where it was in week 1. If you go back, Tom Brady was struggling just trying to figure out how to communicate with teammates while they were wearing face masks because he said he was struggling to read their lips. He and Mike Evans hadn't practiced together for 10 days leading up to that game because Evans had a hamstring injury And then in that game, they read different coverages on one of Brady's interceptions. Now Brady is on the same page with all of his receivers. He's working to get on the same page with Antonio Brown. Evans and Chris Godwin are both playing together as well. They've only played together for 4 games this season. They've got Rob Gronkowski more involved in the offense. He's caught 3 touchdowns the last 3 weeks. And I have to say, at first this offense looked like Tom Brady was really running someone else's. Now it really looks like his own.
And now we're going to throw in the addition of Antonio Brown. What should we expect from him, though? I mean, this is his first game since September of last season.
Bruce Arians said he could play anywhere from 10 to 35 snaps. I'm going to say about 25 snaps. That's in line with what he played in his Patriots debut last year, but they're not going to overload him. It's important that he comes out of this feeling good. They also, though, have the benefit of some trickeration there, some deception, because in talking to Sean Payton this week, he said, we have no idea if he's going to line up at X, Y, Z. They lined him up inside and outside last year with the Patriots. I think they're going to do a little bit of that the same. But they want him feeling good about this. I asked Byron Leftwich, their offensive coordinator, who I saw him actually arriving with, I said, what can a good performance do for AB tonight? And he said, I don't even think it's a good performance. I just think him going out there, being part of a huddle, I think that that really can go a long way for him. As we all know, he's really just trying to get his life on track.
The Bucs are not the only team making additions to their roster, because the Saints also get the return of Michael Thomas in this game tonight. So how is the Bucs defense prepared to see him?
Yeah, Carlton Davis, they shadowed him on Michael Thomas in week 1. I expect them to do that again. He limited Thomas to just 3 catches for 17 receiving yards. And in talking to Davis about that matchup this week, he said, I'm a press corner. That's what I do. I like to get my hands on guys, and I like to disrupt the timing of their routes. And he said a lot of what Breeze and Thomas do are a lot of timing routes. So he said he's going to play his game. He's pretty